Check, check, check. Well, hello, everybody. We will give a second here for people to join. Hopefully, everything looks good. Could one of my back end folks check and see? Awesome. So I just got the word on the street that both are good. So, how is everybody doing on this fine Friday evening? As an entrepreneur, uh, I just like the way that word sounds, even though I only play at it. Today is the first sunny day in Oregon, or at least my part of Oregon, in God knows how long. And I was like, I'm going to get all my prep done for a class I'm running this weekend. And Friday's going to be my day where I'm just going to go into the woods with my camera. And lo and behold, I ended up working all day, mainly on class prep for tomorrow, but also some scheduling issues, which I will address a little bit later on in the broadcast. So once again, welcome. I appreciate all of you who take time out of your busy day to stop what you're doing and listen to me talk. Um, so I really, really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I know there's a little lag issues going on, but that should clear up as we continue. Um, so a couple things I wanted to talk about. So last week I did my post, where I released the first part of my schedule for the year. So I decided to release my schedule biannually. So January 1st, July 1st. And I was so frantically, just trying to get the work done. The week I had set aside for building my schedule was taken up dealing with tech companies that were screwing me over 6 ways from Sunday, um, which, little photographer pro tip here, if you complain enough and to the right people, and the company has made a mistake that's their fault, they will reward you. Yeah, so I will. I got another replacement hard drive coming my way, which is great because they are expensive. And right now, I am rich with a meeting that used to take place annually, and then COVID hit. So this year is the first year where we're going back to in person. I'm going to try my best to make it, but unfortunately, I'm flying back to the East Coast for my little brother Cody's wedding on the 28th, and then the gathering starts a couple days after I get back, and then I have a class that weekend. So I'm going to try, guys, to make it down there because last time it was such a good time. It was at Point Reyes State Park. I think it's a state park in California. And Bill Kaiser and I cut. Can you guys hear me still? I just got a message that it cut out. Anyway, I'm going to keep talking. You can always watch the recording. But anyway, Bill Kaiser and I, Bill from Ancestral Knowledge, got to sneak up on some Roosevelt elk. All right, hold on here. We're running into some issues. 1 second, y'all. Let's see here. Here's offline. I'm not sure why. Let me see if I can figure this out. Not quite sure what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, my one friend says it's all good, and a few other people are saying it's not. So, you can always catch the recording. But anyway, yeah, so Bill Kaiser and I managed to stalk up on a herd of elk down there, and it was a really amazing time. And, during this meeting the other day, I got to thinking about my journey and how I learned these skills. Obviously growing up around tracker school as a child, children are sponges. They absorb, what they see. And I just have so many fond memories of being a little kid and just sitting in the back of the classroom and learning. And one of the most difficult things for me is as an educator, when I started actually, teaching professionally 22 years ago, was that I didn't learn these skills the way many of you might have. I didn't, sit in the classroom and take notes and then go home and practice. I just, lived it. It was my whole life. So when it came time for me to start teaching them, I had difficulties because it was hard for me to relay. I'm big on teaching the principles of how a skill works, meaning, I can, teach you, let's take the bow drill, for example. I can give you a tip that you can find any branch in the woods anywhere in the world. And if you scrape the bark off and you make a dent in it with your thumbnail, and it makes a dent pretty easily, that's probably a decent bow drill wood. Because when you learn the principles of how these skills work, you can then apply them to your environment. And then that got me thinking about my mom's passing last year, or 2 years ago now. I don't even know. Time has become this warp for me. And I decided to go get the box of family memorabilia that was sent to me by my sister. And it consisted of 3 boxes of old school tracker memorabilia. So I'm about to show you guys 2 photos that, might have my old man texting me in the morning. But the first one I want to show y'all, and I've got so many. One of my goals is, once I actually start making a sustainable living, is to digitize all of these things. But the first is this just beautiful cover of, a West Coast magazine. Look at that. Look at that hair. Look at that luscious hair. I remember my dad being just this giant, both physically and spiritually and mentally. And I just found this photo. I had never seen this one before, and I just so happened to reach into the box and pull it out. And here's a photo of my dad in full camo, uh, sitting in a wash tub with a huge smile on his face. And I'll share these. I'll take some photos of these and put them up on Instagram. But yeah, just to think that he's been doing this for, I just turned 44 in November. The school started the year I was born, the year the tracker came out. And uh, it amazes me, it amazes me all of the work. And now that I'm, fully stepped into my role as founder of Future Nature and T3 Photography, I'm struggling in so many ways, um, mainly because things have changed so much. My father never had to do any marketing. His books were his marketing. Word of mouth was his marketing and still is to this day. Whereas I have to regularly, go on social media, share my schedule, have a website. I remember we used to release the schedule, his schedule, right around the new year, and I remember we would gather all the instructors together and basically take pages, trifold them, envelope, lick the envelope, stamp, and address 5,000 plus things that we would send out to people who had requested information about classes. And the model, for marketing these things has changed so drastically. And, I'm just, one of the things I'm struggling with personally is, as an educator and somebody who, is known, I'm just wondering, why I'm having the difficulties I am in, getting people into my classes. And, it's funny, I'm teaching a class tomorrow that I didn't come up with. A former student contacted me and said, "Hey, me and four friends want to learn how to, properly, I'm this manifested this class of right around 10 people." And so I'm trying to go that route, the word of mouth route, getting out there and spreading the news. So speaking of my schedule, a couple things that you all may have noticed, where's my little pen thing here, is that because I was in such a hurry to get my schedule up, I have, I think I've corrected most of them at this point, but I had myself teaching two classes on the same day, which sounds like it could be kind of fun, be like send one group out on an exercise and then go meet with the other group. But it would kill me at this point. So maybe later, once I get, my health a little better, and I'm a little more stable, we can mess with that. But yeah, so I'm working to correct all of those like double bookings. Um, I also, learned that I probably should have written everything out on, my little digital writing pads calendar first before inputting them into my website. So I'm learning every day. I'm learning how to manage customers and accounts and billing and all that stuff. And uh, I hate it. I really, really, really strongly dislike it. I like teaching. I like writing. I like taking photos and videos. All the other stuff is just uh, soul sucking, and I'm trying to get it to a point where it's self-sustaining, meaning that now that I've got all of my classes, or at least the main body of the core classes that I teach, set up on my website as products, it's easy for me to schedule them for both my online and my in-person classes. So I learned some valuable lessons. So yeah, and one thing I ask of you all, if you happen to notice any errors on my website, uh, please let me know about them and I will correct them. You know, I've actually had, 4 or 5 of you reach out to me and say, "Hey, just want to let you're teaching 2 classes on the same day, or, this word should be this word." And I am super appreciative of those of you that have been helping me out that way. With that, my schedule is going to have some additions on it because in between last broadcast and this broadcast, I've talked with a few more folks. So I'll start with the class that Rick Barry um, from for Triple E in California are doing. The working title is The Way of the Caretaker, and that's my theme for this year. As I said many times to many of you, last year, at least the bulk of it was the worst, just about the worst year of my life. And I'm not going to let 2023 be the same way. This is my year where you know, I fully step into my power and fully live my vision and embody what I teach, or at least try to the best of my ability. Um, so Rick and I are still, we'll probably have a conversation tomorrow to hash out the details about that class. I believe the dates are the Earth Day weekend. So, coincidence? There is no such thing as coincidence, only the illusion of coincidence. Yeah, looking forward to heading down there. As I've said many times, Rick is one of the finest child nature educators I have ever seen. And to all of you out there watching this who teach outdoor skills to kids, uh, bless your heart, because unless the kid wants to learn and is really interested, that I'm okay with. But having to uh, manage a group of kids where 3 kids are beating each other with sticks and 3 are tearing up trees and things like that. That's just not my thing. So for those of you who do that work, educating the next generation so that when they come to power and get in, they don't pass laws that further destroy Earth Mother. So kudos to all of you, from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to be adding some more classes to my schedule, especially in the online department. Um, those are, I've really enjoyed doing the online classes, and I really can't wait till it stays light past 2 o'clock, so I can move to my outside office to do these broadcasts and to do my webinars. Um, so keep an eye on the website. I will make an announcement either via blog post or email once I hash out all of the details with these other organizations I'm going to mention. So another individual I spoke with is Ben Sanford from Tribal Edge. I'm sure a lot of you know Ben, especially if you've been to tracker school and taken scout classes. He teaches a lot of the martial arts. Ben is, and his organization are only about 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours north of me in Sequim, Washington. So we got in contact with each other, hadn't talked in a few years, and are working on this class that I don't want to give away too many details on yet because we don't have too many. But I think once we flesh it out, it's going to be a really, really epic class in, a beautifully, beautiful location. The Olympic Peninsula is one of my favorite places around here. Every time I go up there into the Hoh rainforest, I feel like at any moment a velociraptor is going to pop out of the bushes and gore me to death. Which, yeah, it's an honest way to die. It's better than, slipping and falling in the shower or a car accident. Uh, so another couple things around my schedule. So I mentioned this last week. I'll mention it again. I have created what I'm calling the pack system. So basically, if you register for either 2 or 4 online or in-person classes, you get a discount. And I'm trying to set up my schedule in a way so that for the in-person classes, like one Saturday will be an awareness class, followed by Sunday will be an animal tracking class, so that they're close together. Also, because of my schedule kerfuffles and mess ups, I have decided to extend my early bird special by another week. So I believe the end date of the new early bird special, which is 15% off anything on my website whatsoever, till the 28th. So get on there and check it out. The schedule is going to be evolving every day this week. It's going to be my main focus is really putting the finishing touches on that, because once that's done, then I can actually get some time for myself, because I've still got quite a bit of healing to do, personal healing to do. Next year, so for my 2023 schedule part 2, which will come out on July 1st, maybe 1 or 2 weekends a month. If it's an online online program, we'll do a live, Zoom session every week. And then I'll also be sending you out I recorded a wilderness survival masterclass, which is available on my website. If you're going to buy my masterclass, do it through the link on my website instead of going directly to Anchored Outdoors, because if you get it through my website, I get a percentage of it. But if you go directly to my friend April, who paid to have the class produced, I don't get anything. So it's right there in the sidebar. It's one of the main items. So I'm toying with this idea of a series of mini master classes that are going to be anywhere from 10 to maybe $50, depending on the subject and how long it is, that are purchasable and downloadable, so you can refer back to them anytime. And the one I can think of I really want to do is one based around primitive cooking. So I'm hoping to have a chat with who I deem to be the master of primitive or campfire cooking, Mr. Jorge Brana, to see if he would like to co-star with me in this video, along with another guy, a good friend of mine, Sam. So that's one we're really looking forward to. But yeah, just little, mini lesson packages that, can be put together, and just, it's good to have, when you're learning a new skill, it's good to have, you know, a video backup of the proper technique and form of the skill, or when it comes to plants, and proper plant identification, or bone tools, or any of these subjects. If you're taking a class, you're scribbling notes, the instructor might be showing you examples, and then you go to set about, trying the skill yourself, and you realize that you missed a bunch of information. So having that video to refer back to can be huge. So that's another thing I'm going to be putting some energy into. Other than that, I am working on, establishing connections with schools all across the country, to do collaborations with. One of the things I'm going to attempt to do is I want to set up a rock band style teaching tour where I just hop in my car and do a loop around the country teaching at various organizations, and having a good time. And then after that, I'm actually going to build a GoFundMe, because my eventual dream is to teach for free, is to give away what's in my head. Anytime somebody contacts me about a private class, and you get to the money part, and I get this feeling, this like cringe feeling, where I just I don't feel right charging money for skills that all of our ancestors were masters at. So ironically, as I've mentioned a few times, I'm hoping that cryptocurrency and is going to help make that dream a reality. And the market is pumping right now, so get in while you can. But yeah, so that's my eventual goal. So I think with the GoFundMe, I would set up 4 classes kind of in the 4 regions of the country. And they would be open to, how many students depends on how much money I raise, because I like to teach no more than 10 people. In fact, I wish I could afford to just do classes where 5 students was my limit, because if you're going to spend your hard-earned money, on a class with me, I want to make sure you get the time and the attention that you deserve. So once again, I apologize for the quality. We're having some internet issues. Yeah. Yay, country life. It's like I could trade moving to the city and always have fast internet or live on a beautiful 12-acre property of old growth forest. You know what my choice is. You know my words. A couple other things. So yeah, as I mentioned last time, I'm going to be assisting, at least for part of his trip, Tom Alpel, author of the first book that I recommend to any of my wild edible plant students, Botany in a Day. I'm sure that pretty much anybody who is watching this probably has that book on their shelf. It is by far and away the best book to begin with. Um, he emailed me and we had a phone conversation, and he's doing a 2 week long Oregon botany intensive. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes after the episode populates. And basically, they're going to start off here on our property because it's, or my landlord's property because it's pretty unique because of the age of the forest. And then I'm not sure of the exact path. I'm hoping to tag along for the full 2 weeks, but we'll see how that goes, because that time in July is also, valuable teaching time. So I look forward to assisting, somebody who's a legend in my eyes, with uh, teaching that class with him. And basically, we're going to spend the first 2 or 3 days of the class here. He's going to teach in the morning, and then I'm going to teach in the evening or afternoons and evenings. So let's see if anything else I got on my notes here. Oh yeah. So let's put future and nature aside for a second and talk about T3 photography. So anybody out there who is a professional photographer knows it is really hard to make money being a professional photographer unless you're, obviously, well known. I was going through my photo catalogs and galleries on my website the other day. At least the vast majority of them are photos that I took years ago. So pretty quick here, once I sort out the scheduling errors, I am going to be completely wiping most of the photos off my website and replacing them with all new ones. If I have 25,947 images in my Lightroom catalogs, and that's after culling bad images. I jokingly say, but it's very true, that I could not pick up a camera for 2 years and turn out a, National Geographic worthy photo. um, so I'm going to, completely change the photos I have for sale. And remember that any photo that you see, whether I post it on Instagram or Facebook or, the ones I sell are poster prints. They look really good, and they're really inexpensive. But I can take that same print and have it printed on glass, metal, acrylic, bamboo. I could get it turned into a toilet seat for you if you wanted to. You'd be amazed at what I can get my photos printed on. So if you want something that's special, feel free just to reach out, and it's a really quick process. One of the things I've been working with, and I'm sure some of you you question this as to why, if you go to my Instagram shop, I sell women's sports bras with my prints on them. And that all stems from my dear friend Mary Vance, who many of you may know from Tracker School. She is a fitness and nutrition educator, and she trains some of the top female MMA fighters out there. So Mary has a print, a photo uh, that she absolutely loves. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm actually going to give it to her so that it's hers and I can't do anything with it. But as a Christmas gift, I made her a sports bra with her print on, the print of her favorite photo. And as soon as she got it, she sent me this email and is like, I want, four more designs. And I think she ended up ordering 20 something of them and, gave them out to, some of the top, female MMA fighters out there. And one I've become friends with through this whole process is Alicia Half Pint. She is 4'11", and could kick the crap out of me easily. I can guarantee it. And I have trained fairly extensively in quite a few different styles of martial arts. So right now I'm working on some projects for her that are like the rash guards that they wear that when they train. She just got her brown belt. Congratulations, Half Pint. And I'm designing a rash guard with brown sleeves and then a really awesome print, which I'm going to surprise her with on it. So that's why those are there. But yeah, and I'm also going to work on expanding my clothing line, meaning, my prints will be able to be purchased on t-shirts or sweatshirts. I just need to learn how to change the shape of a square image and make it so it fits on a shirt. Of all the things I need to learn how to do, that is number one. And I'm sure it's super easy. But yeah, I have yet to master it. So once that happens, I will be releasing quite a few different shirts with everything from the, you know, badass Future Nature logo, 3/4 length t-shirt here, to any number of plants and animals and things that I have seen. This year, I've taken some amazing photographs, and I haven't even had time to really process them and post them because I've been so busy. After this event that happened that drastically altered the course of my life, I essentially had to, you know, start from square one. And so that's been what's been all encompassing as of late. But now that I'm slowly starting to understand how these processes work, the work gets faster, which can give me more time to take more photos, shoot more video, and things like that. Especially on my Instagram, I'm always putting up reels and things like that. And I usually follow up this T3Live with tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow, Sunday. I'll do an Instagram live. But other than just don't forget that early bird special. You can get 4 multi-day in-person classes. Oh yeah, so the one I wanted to mention Adam LaRue and the sharpening stone. So we are gonna do our tracks and trapping class. We're going to do I believe on cattails. So I want to do this, and that was the fall, so we're moving into the rhizome kind of season. So I want to do a spring version of that class. We're also doing a 2-day edible mushrooms class down at his place in Wolf Creek. Another one we're running is tracks and trapping. And we are also working on a few other surprise classes for this summer. So stay tuned for those. That's all I got for now. Just remember that early bird special, you only got 7 more days. I lowered the price of everything, already. So you're going to get a deal upon a deal, so to speak. And, once again, it's my quest to give people who want access to the information I have for as low cost as I can possibly afford. That's what's most important to me. On that note, I've got a hungry human here and a hungry dog, even though I just fed her. And I got some class prep to do for tomorrow. So thank you all for tuning in. Anybody or anything that I mentioned, I will put up in the show notes once this uploads to YouTube. It takes a little while. And as always, if you ever have any question about anything related to my works and my vision and what I do, whether you're a student of mine or not, I'm available. I want to be an open book. I want to, show you as many vignettes into my life as possible. And, while they're not always pretty, it helps me. It's very cathartic. And, as I said last year, that's one thing I'm going to work on. I got to stop saying, as I said, and so much. But yeah, last year kicked my ass. This year, I'm going to embrace and hug and beg to please be kinder to me, because I truly believe 100% wholeheartedly in the work I do. Otherwise, I would, just go get a job doing something else. So, a vision is something that doesn't like many days off. A vision is all day, every day. And I'm happy to do it. But I would like the occasional day off. Lastly, before I end this broadcast, there is a cadre of you out there from everywhere, from Alaska to Texas to Washington State to New Jersey to New York, who have been, advising me and helping me through these processes of becoming a business human. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Um, and that's what we're meant to do. If you don't know how to do something, seek somebody out who knows how to do it, and learn from them. I'm actually hopefully going to be picking up an intern soon, and I can't pay with money, but I can pay with the information in my brain. So we are going to do a work trade sort of thing, and she's going to help me with certain areas of my website. So yeah, any questions, anything, I am available pretty much 24 hours a day. Before I go, as always, peace and love. Spend as much time as you can outside, rain or shine, because that's where we're meant to be. You know, seek the real, like this man right here, probably 25, no, 25, shit, 40 years ago. If you could see the smile on his face, I mean, it's making me cry looking at it right now. But I love you, Dad. And I love the rest of the Tracker School family and the Wilderness Awareness School family and the Trackers Earth family and all these different families out there and organizations. You know, we're all working towards the same goal. So let's work together, you know. All right, y'all. I am going to go put some food in my belly. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch me ramble. And I will definitely be waiting until the next nice day to schedule one of these because I'm sick of using the indoor office. I like my